So this is part 47 of our fleet management system version 2, and I'm going to show you how to implement sorting, as you can see right here. So once you click, you can see it sorts it in alphabetical order, and when you click a second time, it reverses the sort direction. It could be ascending or descending, and each of the columns, you can actually sort them in either ascending or descending order. And let's just do it right now. Meanwhile, we are now in part 47 and we are making progress in our fleet management system version 2. So consider subscribing, and if you are joining for the first time, please go back to start from the beginning or check the playlist and see if there is particular lessons that you have problems with, and then you can follow up that. Meanwhile, if you have challenges, let me know in the comment box below, and also please like and share this video. Okay, so let's solve this problem. So in the previous class, we did search. Remember, we did search in the previous class, and today we are going to talk about sorting. So let me put away this one so that we can start exactly from where we stopped. Okay, so this is where we stopped. At this point, we have implemented this, but currently we don't have any sorting right here. So to solve this problem, we are going to make modifications in 3 places. And the first place we are going to go to is the country service. So we are going to go to this place, the country service, and make some changes. And the changes we are going to simply make is that we are going to write a find all method. So basically we are going to write this method a second time. We are going to call it find all with sorting. And it's basically that once we call the find repository find all method, we simply pass a field, a sort field inside. So it's going to be really easy. So I'm going to call it find all with sort, and assuming I have this field I want to use, let's call it field, because field could be, the column that you want to sort with. That is what we call field. You simply tell the repository to sort by, so simply tell it sort.by field, and that is basically it. Now you can actually do sorting. And next, we now finally go to the controller. So this is where we are. We worked on this place before. So in the controller, instead of tampering with this getAll method, it's better we simply have a second version. So we're going to call it getAllWithSort. So I'm going to call it getAllWithSort. And I'm going to add a path variable here. So we are going to receive the field we want to sort by. So I'm going to have this field here. The field we want to sort by will be provided from hyperlink in the column. Okay, so we get all we sort. We have, now we are not searching, so I'm going to remove this keyword, this search keyword. That is fine. And I'm also going to remove this. Instead of having this, I'm going to remove it, and now I'm going to call the find all with sort. I'm going to say find country repository country service dot find all with sort, and I'm going to now give it the field. Okay, so the field is going to be coming from path variable. Of course, you know what path variable is. Path variable, and the path variable is going to be field. Okay, and it's going to be a string, and it's going to be field. Okay, so once we send the sort field, the sort column, we are going to send it as part of the path variable right here, and it's going to now find the countries with sort and return the countries that is sorted, and is going to display or be loaded in the template. So this is basically it. So you can be just surprised that it's just going to work really well. But before we just finalize, let's do one thing. Let's go to the HTML page and then change to make the country header to be hyperlinked. So I'm going to go to the parameters and go to countries. So right here, I'm going to now make this to become hyperlinked. So I'm going to say A here and put this one right here. So it's A. So I'm going to now say href. Href is equal to this, and Of course, you know we are working with time leap, so it's going to be THHREF is equal to, it's going to be out here, and we call this, and close up this as well. Okay, perfect. So now we have this. Now I'm going to now put in the field, which is description, okay? So the field for sorting will be description right here. So it means that once it gets to the controller, here we will have description, and it's going to pass this description to the findAllWithSort here, which is in the service, and then it's going to sort by. So let's see if it plays out. So let me just refresh, rerun this application, and let's see if it works. Now the default, now we've not specified whether it's ascending or descending. So now if I go refresh this page, you now see we have a hyperlink here, and if I click here, you can see it sorts in ascending order, and that is for now. The default is ascending order, okay? Okay, so if you want to change the sort direction, you can just come here. As a first parameter, you're going to say sort direction dot ascending, or you can actually say sort direction dot descending. And then if I run this application now, it's going to actually sort it by descending order. So if I refresh the page, so it's still coming. If I refresh the page, coming here, okay, so it's starting up. So you can see that if I sort it, so it's descending order now from biggest U downwards to B. Okay. So the challenge we have now is how do we toggle it so that when we click, it's going to sort in ascending order. If we click again, it's going to sort in descending order. So this is where we need to do a little bit of work. So I'd like us to first, let's start from here, okay? So here we need to add a path parameter, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply copy my existing code and paste it and explain it to you, because normally typing these TypeScripts sometimes could be a problem. Okay, so here we have, let me just explain to you because it's quite easy. So this is exactly what we have before, country's description, because this is a description column. And we have the sort direction. This sort direction here is now a path parameter. This description here is a path variable. This is a path parameter. These are two different things. The path variable now here is static. Basically, I'm not changing it because it's always the description field that has this column. However, the sort direction is going to always change depending on what it is. So initially, the sort direction maybe it will be null, but when you sort, it's going to check what the sort direction is and then reverse it based on the current value. Okay, so let's go now to implement this logic now. So the first thing we are going to do, let's go to the service first. Let's go to the country service. So now I'm going to delete this first. So I'm going to write this findAllWithSort. So it's going to take two things. It's going to take the field, and it's also going to take the direction. So I'm going to have string direction. And the direction is going to be either ascending or descending. So it's going to basically be ASC or DSCE, right? So it's going to be either of these two. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we are going to create a sort object called sort, and this sort object is going to sort by given direction based on this direction given here. So I'm going to say sort. So I'm going to say now at this point, I'm going to say sort. So if, let's say if this direction here, let's say, let me just write something here. So it's going to be ASC or this E or desk, okay? So we are going to say if this sort here, if this direction dot equals, if this direction is equal to ascending, if this direction is equal to ascending, and how do we do it? I'm going to say sort dot direction dot ascending. So if the direction is ascending, okay, then let me just come here and say else, okay. So let me just set it up like this. So why do we have this error? So dot ascending dot name, okay. All right, so if the direction is ascending, then we are going to set the direction of this sort object to be ascending. So I'm going to say sort dot by, and I'm going to specify the field, sorted by the field, and dot ascending, yeah. Okay, so basically this is it, and the next one we're going to say sort dot by field dot descending. Okay, so this is what you do here. So now we have a sort object now, which actually sorts either by ascending order if it's ascending, or by descending order if it's if the sort direction received is descending. Okay. So the next thing we want to do now, we are going to now return the country repository that find all and give it the sort object. All right, so what's happening here is that the country repository that find all is initialize variable sort objects. Okay, so initially it takes null value, or we can actually give it an initial value. So let me just give it an initial value to be ascending. So let's give it sort dot. Okay, so I'm giving it an initial value at this point. Okay, so you can either actually set it to null, is also okay, but it's better you give it, let's say, initial is going to sort by ascending order, and then after then, once it sees the direction here, it's going to now use this direction to now sort it. If its direction is ascending, it's going to sort by ascending order, and if it's descending, it's going to be by descending order. And then we are going to return country repository that find all. So the country repository that find all can also accept a sort object. Okay. All right. So this is what we do here in the service, and we are going to now go to the controller. So here in the controller, this is where we are currently. So I'm going to kind of shift this down a little bit. So this is getWithSort. Okay. Now we have the countries. We have this path variable. Now we also should have a path parameter, because the path parameter now, if we go back to our HTML template, we have this sort direction here to be path parameter that has a value to be reverse sort direction. So we're going to be changing this reverse sort direction, the value of the sort direction path parameter. Okay, we're going to be changing it based on what the current value is. So let's go back to our controller. So we are going to first capture the path parameter. So I'm going to say path parameter, and the path parameter is sort direction. Okay, and I actually don't want to move on to 2 lines, but maybe I just have to end up doing it. So let me just go 1 line down here. Okay. So here we have the path parameter, and the path parameter is a sort dir, as you can see. So path parameter is a sort dir, and it's going to be a string, and it's going to have the same name, sort dir. Okay. So this is a path parameter that is going to be changing. So we are going to be changing the value, because this is just the name of the parameter. We are going to be changing the value of this path parameter based on the current value. Okay, so let's make room here so that we don't mix up things. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do now, we have list of countries, that's fine. So list of countries are going to fetch. They're going to fetch the initial list of the country at this time. So I'm going to say countries is equal to country service that find all we sort and specify the field and the sort direction. Okay. So this is initial value that is received. Okay. So which is actually a replacement for this one. Okay. Actually, this could have been done at a different time. So now we want to add. So we have this model attribute. We want to add the sort direction. We want to send back the sort direction to the HTML template. Now this will be a bit confusing initially, but it will take some time. You maybe take some time to get your head around it. So we are passing the sort direction, and it's going to be sort direction or sort dir. So this is exactly what we have here is what we are passing back. But give me 1 second, let me just correct this. Okay, I think it should be fine. So initially it's going to, it should be empty when the page loads for the first time. All right, so the next thing we are going to do, we are going to now say model that add attributes, and the attribute we are going to be adding now is the reverse sort direction, which is the attributes we want to actually modify. So I'm going to call it reverse sort dir, and this reverse sort direction is going to take this value here and check if it is ascending or descending. If it's ascending, it's going to change it to descending, else it's going to remain ascending. So I'm going to say sort dir dot equals is equal to ascending. If it's equal to ascending, then make it descending desk, else is going to be ask. So this is a ternary operator I just used here. Okay, I think this should be fine. Yeah. So basically what we are doing is when you load the page, we have the sort direction is not assigned. So it's going to be null basically. So and it's going to now set the reverse sort direction. If it's ascending, of course it's not ascending, it's going to be set it to the ascending. But if it's ascending, it's going to set it to descending. So basically, this line of code simply toggles the reverse sort direction. And let's now test out this to see how it plays out. Maybe a bit confusing, but just take some time to get your head around it. This code will be available for you in GitHub, so just in case you need it. So I'm going to simply relaunch this application now. So remember, we've not actually set up the links for the other fields here, but we are going to do that in a minute. Okay, so you can see it works now. You can see that the description field is toggling, and if you look at the path parameter here, it's actually changing as well from descending to ascending. And when it's sorting as well, you can see it sorts completely. So what I'm going to do now, I actually modified this to actually use ternary operator right here. So I think that should be clear to you as well. So basically this is a ternary operator. Sometimes it's better to use a ternary operator. Okay, so this is a service, findAllWithSort in the service, and this is a controller exactly as I explained it to you. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to just adjust this. I actually might just leave this out for you as well to do as homework. So here I'm going to just paste this one here and just change this one to capital and change this to capital. And just like that, you need to modify everything. So for me, I think I already did it. So I think I'll just copy from where I have it and paste it. So give me 1 second. So I'm going to copy from here and say, yeah, and paste here. All right. So this is exactly what we have. So if I refresh this now or reload it or rerun it or relaunch it, it's going to come out well, exactly the way we want it. And let's go back to the page. I'm going to refresh and you have all these, you can now sort, you can see right here. So we can now do sorting in our FleetMS version 2. But we still have a long way to go. We now want to talk about paging, and that's what we are going to be doing in the next part. You see how we can either to do paging, we're going to say page 1 of 5, and then we have about 10 records displaying, and have something like that makes that's how real applications actually work. So I'd like to be stopping here. This application is available tonight in GitHub, so you can actually download it and use it to cross-check your work. And also, if you have challenges, please do let me know in the comment box below this video. Subscribe to my channel as well, so this kind of motivates me. And if you see a question in the comment that you know the answer, please help to respond to the user at least because this kind of reduces the workload on me. So I remain kind on the Tech Pro, and I'm always there for you.